Good afternoon. 716 Delta Mike here. Gonna do a little hop in our Beechcraft. This is the Blacksquare Baron B58, BE58. Gotta get a little music going here. There we go. All right, we are in Warren County, Ohio, Lebanon County, Ohio Airport, John Lane Field, India 68. Gonna hop over to Huntington, West Virginia, Kilo Hotel Tango Sierra. We'll be flying November 618 Bravo and the new Blacksquare Beechcraft Baron 58 analog edition here. So jump in the cockpit here. And let's do a few things here to get things started up here. Turn off the yokes for a moment, just so we can verify everything. Let's double check all of our switches are in the position we are expecting them to be in. We will go ahead and do our nav and beacon light to the on position though when we turn the battery on here. And co-pilot switches here. This is looking good. Flaps are in the up position. And let's go ahead and take our props full forward there. And you can see them spin, and we'll go ahead and go with our mixtures to the rich position, and we'll double check our fuel is on. Real quick, let's double check our fuel though before we actually get out of here. So, all right, we're gonna drop the tip tanks fuel to 0, and we're gonna bump this up to about 80% here on these two tanks. And payloads at about 25%, 1.3. All right, we should be good there. Max takeoff weight 5186, so we got to be 6200. So we're under that at 5186. Max takeoff weight 6200. So, all right, and let's see. Don't really know exactly what route we want to take here. We can go direct. Since we're really kind of more or less doing this as a VFR flight. Just looking to see what's in. All right, we'll go VFR. I think we want to go up. I'm going to go east, so it'll be odd plus 500. I think we can get some good tailwinds here if we stay below. Let's do 15.5. We'll plan for 15.5. All right, so 15.5, we got our fuel in, and let's just see what this is going to. It should be less than an hour flight. All right, so let's go ahead and get our battery on. That should give us some lights on here. Looks like we do have nav lights on, and our beacon light would be on. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that like that? I thought left and right. All right, so our DME we need to figure out, but we'll figure that out here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5 is free, so we'll do 5 for that. All right. I want to go. I'm going to go right in here for my DME. Get a control 5. Just saving a preset real quick. DME, that should be 5. There we go. All right, so that should have us. Let's verify here now. So here, DME, got it. All right, we're good. Batteries are on. Let's go fuel pumps on. Too low. Mixture's rich, and get a little fuel flow here, and then we'll back it off just a little bit, and let's go. Fuel pumps back off. Crack the throttles here, and we'll get our mags to that position, and we are going to go clear to the right, clear prop, and let's All right, we got the first one started. And clear left over here. Here we go. All right, got a good start on both sides. So with that, we should be able to get left and right alternators on, and we will get our avionics master on. All right. And let's go ahead here and get our GPS set. This should be in standby, but let's double check. We want to make sure we got all our engine repaired here. Let's reset all failures, refill the oxygen, and I think we got no failures set here. So go to standby here on the radar for now. And continue. I think we're going to just plan to...
TOS, system test okay.
We're going to kind of make our own route up here a little bit. So we'll go with... Like we want Widex, I thought. WITEX. Insert before. WITEX. Alright, there we go. Widex. What other routes we got? We got the York VOR, so we can go right there. YRK, insert after. YRK, return. Alright, there we go. There's our route. So, what are we doing here? Let's, off of India 68. Let's go to WIT. Widex. And then from there, we're going to go to the YRK. That's York VOR. And then we'll KH Kilo Hotel Tango Sierra. That is the Tri-State Ferguson Airport. All right. And set here. That is in Huntington, West Virginia, Tri-State Milton J. Ferguson. All right. So we are set up there. I don't even know what our routes are here. What do we got for approaches there? They got an ILS for 1-2 localizer. We could probably go visual though for 1-2, to be honest with you. We could cross midfield. Hmm. 1-2 is the wind there, so I think we're going to cross midfield for a right downwind, or it's going to be left traffic, I guess. We'll just plan to do a visual approach, and we'll go left traffic for a 45. All right, that's what we're going to plan for, left traffic for 45. So all right, so can I even do that? Let's do load procedure, approach, go visual for 1-2, and let's just do load approach here and load. So 3 miles, and what is our elevation there? 825, so 1848. Okay, there's our altitude there for the field for visual, 1850 feet. So 1900 at Widex. We don't want 1900 at Widex though at all. We're going to 15,000, right? All right, so let's get our props. I'm sorry, let's get our mixture leaned back a little bit here while we're on the ground, and let's get our cow flaps in the open position as well. Questioning though is that open? Our cow flaps are open down here, aren't they? That's open down, so we'll go cow flaps open. All right. All right, I think what we're going to do now, we want to go up to 15,000. 500. That's what we're going to do. And we need to do standby here. We are squawking VFR, so that's set here. Function flight time there, and transponder code here should be VFR. And we are November 618. Bravo. Enter. Enter. All right. I think that's good. And what's our winds like here in Warren County? Weather right now, don't really know. We got the TAF here, 020 at 9, so we'll take off on 01 then, if that's right. We'll plan for 01 departure. So we'll make a left crosswind, left downwind departure, then cross over midfield and on out to the southeast. All right, so 01 is a heading bug here that we need to get set. Let's get our course here. So our initial course is going to be 143. All right, about right there. And 010 should be about right there for the heading. All right, that's going to get us off the runway correctly. All right, get our flight director on. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to taxi out here then. So let's get panel lights on and taxi lights on. Don't need our strobe just yet. We'll get the heats on here momentarily. All right, let's get that off, and here we go. All right, we'll go flaps to our takeoff position here. We're going to forego the run up, even though it's probably the right thing to do. We're going to go ahead and get this flight underway. We need to verify here 22.8. And Warren County traffic, November 618 Bravo will be lining up for departure. Runway 01 will be a VFR departure to the southeast Warren County. All right. Stop her here real quick, and let's go ahead and get our landing lights on, taxi and strobe lights on, pitot heat's coming on, and turns windshield heat on, and we'll get a heater on low, and blower. There we go. All right, here we go, and we'll go over here off of standby to on for the radar. And are we on live weather is the last question here. Double check. We are on live weather. Live weather is on. All right, here we go. County traffic, November 618 Bravo, departing runway 01. Be left crosswind, left downwind departure to the southeast.
4,400 feet remaining.
All right, we're on the line right here. All right, here we go. We're airborne. Let's rate gears up. A little bit of trim here. All right, we'll take the flaps up. And bit of climb power here with our left crosswind. Prop sync could be on. Go ahead and make our downwind here. It's a little bit bumpy.
Class Bravo above in 6.8 miles.
Ooh, she's bumpy. Alright, let's get a heading bug synced up here. And we're going to need... Alright, let's go with the autopilot panel and we'll go heading. And let's go with autopilot engage. And let's get a vertical speed of about 1,000. And engage. Alright. Let's go ahead now and make our left-hand turn over to intercept our route. Alright, so we're making our left turn here. And we are about 35 inches of pressure here. And oh, I'm sorry, we are about 30. Here's 35 inches of pressure. And our RPM's back to about 25. Alright, so we're watching our thing here. As this needle starts to move in, we'll switch to nav mode. We'll intersect our route heading on down to Wadix. Alright. What, she's a bumpy day out. Definitely getting bumped around. Alright, there's coming through 5,000. Looking good on speed right now. Not climbing too fast. Autopilot does not have an indicated airspeed mode for climb out, so we got to just always be mindful of our airspeed here. And we'll be mindful of our manifold pressure, still around 35, 2,500 RPMs. We actually should have been, we could start looking at leaning it out just a little bit here. All right, we're starting to get the needle to move in here, so we're getting close to intercepting our course. All right, here it comes. So we're going to go autopilot panel and nav. Plane should make a slight right-hand turn here. We're passing through 6,000 now, so we're turning on course to the southeast. Hoping this air will smooth out a little bit. It feels like it might be trying to smooth out just a little bit. Should be looking, Cincinnati would be off of our right wing right out through there. Downtown Cincinnati would be a little ways out that way. I don't know if we can see it. Yeah, I feel like it's right behind the wing there. Like, yeah, so that would be Lunkin International or Lunkin Airport right here, I believe, down close to the river. So all right, we're still in the bumps. Airspeed is still looking good. Still climbing at 1,000 feet per minute. And let's go ahead and we'll just keep climbing for now. So we can't get our horsepower here. 256. Can we get that to increase any? No. I don't think we're going to be. We're about where we're at for now. We'll lean out some more as we get on up. Boy, she's bumpy. still sitting about 2,500 RPMs and 35 on the manifold pressure. Climbing on up to 9,000. Or about to come through 9,000 on our way to 15.5. Looks like we'll be able to maintain VFR most of the way today. It's a little bit of a tailwind, I think. Looking like we can pick up about 20 knots or so on our tail. Speed is hanging in there. Airspeed indicating right here. Flight director, nav mode, arm, altitude, autopilot. So we're in armed of, we've got vertical speed of 1,000 with an armed altitude of 15.5. That's all armed and vertical speed set. Autopilot panel here. Flight director, altitude, nav, autopilot gauge. All right, there we go. Do need to get a little bit more heat, I think, on. And we should also have our pressurization set here. Probably need that. Should have already had that. So here comes 10,000. Feeling like it might be trying to smooth out just a little bit. Flaps closed in here. And we should have already had our landing lights off as well. The taxi lights are off. Alright, what do we got here? We got wide X. We want to just remove this. And then what we're going to do is add a long track of -3 miles. And say when we're 3 miles before the airport, let's verify here. What is our altitude here? 828, so 830 feet above. So let's just say we want to be at 2,000 feet. I want to be at 2,000 feet 3 miles before we arrive at the airport. So what this is going to do is help us calculate a top of descent. Alright, speed is still holding pretty good. We are still, let's tap just a little bit more there to get us at 35, and we're still at 2,400. Such a cool airplane. And not only is she cool, she's pretty fast. I mean, we're making 239 knots over the ground right this moment. You can see that right here in the lower left.
ATIS is 125.2.
About 8 minutes or so from our top of descent, and we are coming up on Widex now, or Widex. We'll make a left turn there and go over toward the York VOR. So the other thing we want to do, let's take a look at BNAV in this, because I don't think I want to come down quite so fast. At 1,000 feet per minute. So let's set a target of 1,000 feet per minute for our descent, which is about 2.3 degrees flight path angle, which is going to actually increase our top of descent, make it sooner, but we'll still see. So we're just passing through 14.2. Speed's still hanging in there. Still climbing at 1,000 feet per minute. There's the turn. Seems a little soon for our top of descent, but that's because we don't need to have 7,500 here. Let's delete that out. Enter, save. Back. There we go. That's going to change some things. We don't need to be at 7,500 at York. All we need to do is be at 2,003 miles from the airport. So that really changes the name of top of the system. Now we're over 9 minutes out. And let's verify one more time that we're still set on that VNAV of, yeah, so that changed that. So we'll set this out to, let's just set it at 1,200. Enter. Right, there we go. So we got about 8 minutes now. All right, so here comes our 15.5. We're at 15.4. The plane should level out for us. See, our vertical speed is definitely slowing down here. Tri-state traffic in Huntington. So we got Huntington Tower. We'll just call it Huntington traffic. All right, let me get something here where you can see warflight here momentarily. Alright, so while we're flying along here, let's take a look here at what we got. So here's our flight from up here in Warren County, Ohio, over to Huntington, West Virginia. We're about halfway there. We've been in the air almost 15 minutes. So our plan is to literally come in here and cross over the top of the river. We'll come a little bit to the east. We'll stay on the north side of the airport, track just a little bit to the east, and then we will turn south and then try to come in on a 45 into a left downwind for runway 12. I make a visual landing there on 12. That's our plan. This is a class Delta, so we'd have to contact tower before we get into their airspace. However, we're on VATSIM, and I don't think there's going to be any ATC on for us to do such a thing, but regardless, we're going to have fun. All right, we're about 5.5 minutes from our top of descent, according to the GPS here in the GTN 750. This is the GTXI by TDS Sims. I'm flying with here. All right, so we are in cruise mode. We're in cruise. What we want to probably do here is study this a little bit, so we could pull our manifold pressure back to about 32 and RPMs back to about 24. There's 23, just to see what we got here. just under 280 knots. Try to save a little bit of fuel here. This plane's pretty fast. Definitely slowed down a little bit by pulling that back, but we're not in that big of a hurry. 2,300 RPMs and about 32. We'll go ahead and bump that to 33 inches of pressure. And let's go ahead and verify that we are leaned out. Have to study on that a little bit. So I like to use the peak horsepower. So like there's about where we're going to be lean to the, and let's see, EGT. About 3 minutes till top of descent. Let's verify that we are still set up in VNAV at about 1,200 feet per minute. So we are. Sure what this calculation is here. $2,000 VNAV, because we don't need York. That's what we don't need. So that's, we'll verify that again after we cross York. Let's see, we could say at or above. And we could say at or below. Save it like that. Now let's see, VNAV. About a minute and a half now to the top of descent. All right, and let's go ahead and get ourselves set in here for 2,000 feet.
Vertical track.
Alright, so let's start down. Alright, so here we go. Let's go with vertical speed. Down at 1,200, and that's armed. And then we're going to need to pull some of our manifold pressure back here so that we don't overspeed. So according to this, we need about 2,500 feet per minute. So I don't know what's going on there. The calculations seemed a little off for me. So let's increase our vertical. Oop, we don't want to go down that fast. Let's go down at about 1,800 feet per minute right now and see where we end up. We can always extend a little bit to get our so according to ForeFlight, we are about 20 miles out. Yeah. So 17.4 will put us 3, so 17 and 3 is 20. Sure we don't overspeed there. We pull the props back a little bit. Manifold pressure's at 20 inches and about 2,100 RPMs now. Keeping an eye on our speed indicator over here. We're in the yellow, which is okay. We just don't want to get up here into the red. Coming down through 12,000 now. I've got an airport in front of me out there. I don't believe I've got the airport visual. Yep, I believe it's right here. So what we're going to do is we'll go into heading mode. We'll fly down here to the south a little bit and then come back and then in on a 45 and make our downwind base final. That's the plan. Let's verify now that we've got our heading bug synced up here. And we do. So we have visual on the airport now. We're about 10 out, so Huntington traffic. November 618 Bravo is 13 miles to the northwest. We are a type BE58. 9,000 descending down 2,000, inbound full stop. Then ATC would come back and tell us to make left downwind for runway 12. And we'd have like left downwind runway 12, November 618 Bravo. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to autopilot mode. We're going to put ourselves in heading mode here instead of nav mode. And now we will, 12 is our runway. So we want to go to set our course now, Needle, to what is our runway heading? Should be approach here 120. Runway 12 is a heading of 118, so course of 118. All right, so that should be our runway heading there. And then what we're going to do now is turn parallel to that now to get ourselves kind of set up for entering a downwind here. There we go. All right, that should get us going to a bit of a downwind, so we should see as we level off, we should see the airport off our right, and there we're starting to see it just off the tip of the engine there. So we're right up in this area here is where the runway is. Kind of see it there. So if we jump up here like this. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get much better than that right now. Oh, there we go. We're starting to see the approach lights here. So we're going to be landing in the direction we're coming to right now, but what we're doing is we turned before we're getting to the field. We're now inside the class Delta, just north of the field. And we're still descending down. We just crossed under 5,000. It's getting bumpy again. And let's go ahead and bring our manifold pressure back a little bit more here, so that we don't we're pretty fast still, but we're going to have time to slow down. So, got the river here. Airport is just over here, off our right wing. We are approximately 3.5 miles or so, 3 miles to the north of the airport.
Delta below.
Yep. But one thing we can do now is go in here to GPS mode and hit this, and let's say load a procedure approach, and we want to go visual for 1-2, and we will load and activate that approach. So what that's going to do should give us a map, a line on the map here to line ourselves up with. All right, so we just went through 2,500 on our way down to 2,000. All right, and let's slower descent here at 1,000. Alright, so we're going to level off at 2,000. Speed is already dropping here, so we're doing pretty good on speed now. Alright, so what we want to do now is make our turn back. To the right. Alright. Apply this just a little bit. Coming in on a 45 now into the pattern. You can see here what we've got done. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more power back in here to keep our speed. Alright, so we're going to go to about 2,300 and 100 there, keep our speed up here. Alright, so now we want to turn to a downwind leg let now. So here comes our downwind turn. So the airport is going to be right off our left wing here in a minute. We're holding at 2,000. And if you look right over here, this is our runways right here. So we're now into a left downwind now. And Huntington traffic, November 618 Bravo is entering into a left downwind for runway 12 Huntington. Got the runway just off the top of the wing here, just off the above the engine. There's the runway. You can see glimpses of it over here. There it is. Passing by. Alright, so let's get ready to fly this thing in, shall we? Alright, mixture's full rich. Let's bring the speed back here a little bit. Let's get down into flap speed here. Alright. Autopilot's off. Approach speed coming in here, and gear coming down. Alright, so shall we? Let's go ahead and turn our base. And Huntington traffic, November 618 Bravo, turning left base, runway 12, Huntington. Well, she's bumpy. Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. There's the runway over here. And turning final. Keeping out our speed here. We overshot it just a little bit. Keep it tighter. Alright, there we go. And final notch of flaps coming in. Props are going full forward. The runway in sight.
Final runway 12.
Speed's on par here, right at blue line. Oh, she is bumpy though, bumpy, 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 I tell you. Not liking this. A little bit touch of power here.
$500.
Alright, we're 2 red, 2 white. Looking good right now. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, boy. She was not a friendly approach, but we got a nice touchdown out of it. Pretty close to center line, too, I would say. 35 minutes as of right now. All right, we'll tap the brakes here and see if we can't exit off of here. Welcome to Huntington. To West Virginia and the Beechcraft Bear in Blacksquare. I do like the airplane. Flies good, but man, the wind and the turbulence was kind of rough today. Even on our departure. Some things we forgot. Landing lights were one of those things we forgot. Alright, but we'll do that next time. We should have had our landing light on before we hit that approach, but I was concentrating too much on flying the airplane. Alright, lean for taxi a little bit. And here we go. We'll just take her short ways over here and park her. Clean up the flaps. Alright, we'll park her right here. Alright. And parker brake is on. Taxi lights are off. Avionics master is off. Some of these probe heats all to the off position. Strobe can come off, and we get our heater off and blower the off position. Prop sync can be off and vent blower off. And let's go ahead and bring our props back and bring our mixture back and continue. And all right, these should be all the way back. All right. And with that, we can get our alternators off, and we can get our battery off, and our mags can also be off. I think that's going to do it. To Huntington, West Virginia, in the Blacksquare Beechcraft Baron BE58. Here's what we look like coming in. Route down. Coming into the airport there, and we turned, made a little bit of a jot to the east, staying on the north side of the airport, and then we turned back and came in on a 45 for our approach into the left downwind, and then left base into final. Overshot just a little bit, but wasn't horrible. Could have done a little bit better. If I'd have turned in a little sooner, I should have been a little bit wider on the downwind, but you know, it's not bad. I like to stay close to the airport on my patterns. So anyway, that's gonna do it. We appreciate you watching. 716 Delta Mike. See ya.